Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another video collaboration with my Los Angeles colleague, Lesley Logan of Profitable Pilates. And today we're going to talk about our favorite mat exercises. And when we decided on this topic, I got very excited because historically my favorite exercise is one that's been a favorite since the moment I did it. And the first day I learned it, I loved it. I've certainly improved it over the past decade plus. It's still a favorite. I use it for like anytime I want to feel really, really good and stretched out in all of my body. And so I'm going to share that one with you. But more recently, I've found one that's become kind of a new favorite, but it's been one that, gosh, I've hated for forever. And I really didn't even think it was an exercise at first. I was like, oh, what's so hard about this? I'm just lying here and twirling my leg around. Maybe you can imagine which one it is. But today, it's been a hard-won exercise for me, and I really think it addresses my body in just the perfect way. Let's start with the first one. So the one I've loved forever is the open leg rocker. The open leg rocker, and I'm just going to do it so we all know what we're talking about. It's the 9th exercise in the mat order, and it's basically the next skill that you'll learn in a rolling exercise after rolling like a ball. So it's a little harder than rolling like a ball. And so this is pretty much the standard version of the exercise. And this exercise can be challenging for people if there's tightness in the back of the legs, or both. And really, that's what I like about it so much, is that it really, if you use your center well, it gives you a wonderful massage and opening and lengthening and stretch of the entire back of you. So let's just go over the exercise, a couple different variations as you progress and build more skill in it. And then I'll talk about how to work on it if it's not your favorite exercise and if it's not an exercise that you do well or that you even want to do. So you may have learned this exercise in the beginning, starting with your legs bent. And maybe if this is a challenging exercise for you and you're very stiff in your back and your hamstrings, just to kind of keep your balance and extend your leg away from your body and not tip over, that may be where you are with this exercise right now. And that's awesome. If you can do 5 of these, so I'm really trying to pull my center in deeper as my leg gets further out, so that as your leg extends more away from your body, you actually have to deepen and find more space in your center to support that leg in the air. And so this one, I would say if you can keep your hand as far up to your ankle as you can in this balancing, even if it's a little wobbly and it's hard to do 5, that would be the first step. But let's go back up a moment. So let's say that even to extend your leg out and hold that far away just does not seem possible and you kind of tumble your legs to the mat. There's a wonderful assist that you can use, and if you use it regularly every time you do your mat, it will really whittle away at the problem and really help you get more depth in the exercise really right away. And that is to use these straps. These are the straps that come with the leg springs on either the Tower or the Cadillac, and they are really so wonderful if this exercise is a challenge. So what you would do is you would put the loop on your foot. And so now it's going to enable you to have straight legs, which is what you want to achieve to work on this exercise properly, because you want to make sure that your stomach has to deal with the length of your leg being out there. Straight limbs, arms and legs. And then bend. Because sometimes if you're someone who does the exercise and you can only reach to here, it's kind of putting you, it's not really showing you where the exercise should be in your stomach. And if that's the person you are, once you put these straps on and you feel what it has to be in your center, you'll understand why this is a help to you. And you'll just do the exercise with these straps. Woo! If you don't need the straps, it gives you too much power. But you'll just use these exercises. So, and with like everything in Pilates, it's going to make it a little helpful, and it's going to make it a little more challenging, because now you have to control your straight leg in the air. Okay, so let's say you've used the extender strap, you've gotten your legs straight, and maybe you still have the strap, but you're in this position and you can bend and straighten your legs and keep your balance 5 times, no problem. So then you progress to the rocking aspect of it. And this one, you want to make sure that you're in control, and you can kind of imagine that maybe you're going to only roll back to the middle back at first. You want to make sure that you don't kind of crash and put all of the weight of your lower body on your head and neck. Control. So it has a little bit different rhythm than rolling like a ball. It's going to be definitely more of a rocking action. So that would be the second step, is to add 5 times of the rocking back and forth. And if you've used these straps or not, you don't need them. And you're going to start the exercise from the previous exercise, which is spine stretch. The best way into it, once you don't need to have bent legs because you have straps, and if you don't have to have straps, you should start the exercise with straight legs. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you use your stomach and you have to pick up your legs straight, it's going to put you in exactly where you need to be in your stomach. And if you can see here, I'm in a different place in space than if I just sat up and I started here. I'm already like not really where I need to be to have straight legs. And that's why. And you know, you're going to make that skill built in so that eventually you're going to lift your legs up like that when you do the teaser later on. So getting used to that kind of action, it's not easy, but you might as well build it in right away. So once you've mastered the open leg rocker and it's fun to do and you can do 5 and you're really in control, then you can start to play around with an even more challenging version of the exercise. So the open legs, although that is challenging and presents its own problems because, you know, they could do lots of things, the open legs does facilitate the rolling on your back. If you're a little bit stiff, it's a little bit easier to get this working if your legs are apart. Now we're going to see what happens when you bring the legs together, which is going to make a lot more demands on your flexibility. So you're going to be in your open leg rocker. Woo! And let's say you've done 5. And then you're going to pause. Pull your stomach in to create more room in your back and your center, and bring your legs together for a moment. And then open them. Try to stay nice and controlled as this is happening. You can do it a few times. And if that's no biggie, reach your heels forward, pull your stomach in, and reach up to hold on to your toes with your legs together. So now this is sort of the ultimate version of open leg rocker. It demands that the back of your leg and your back be the most open and the most flexible and stretchy. And then you're going to roll back. You're going to take a big exhale to help power you up if necessary. And so, I don't know, this doesn't really have a name. I like to call it closed leg rocker. And this one, again, is a hard one exercise. I did it for years in classes. Everyone else could roll up easily, and I just could not get it done. I never knew how they rolled up. They made it look so easy. I had to do this little cheat for a while, which, you know, I don't encourage you to cheat, but I kind of feel like you got to do what you got to do for a while. So you can roll back and let go, and then roll back up and re-grab. And, you know, at a certain point, that'll probably be like easy and not very satisfying. And then don't worry about coming up, just hang on. So maybe you don't make it up each time, and you make it up after like 1 or 2. That's all right. You know, you mark your progress. It's all good. You're getting a nice back massage. Nobody cares. So if you have any questions about the open leg rocker or scenarios with teaching students that I didn't mention, do leave me a comment. And now let's talk about the exercise that I kind of am going to call my new favorite, because I hated it. I didn't even think it was an exercise. It was just, it's been terrible for so long, but now I feel like, wow, it's promising. It's really doing a lot of things for me that I didn't know I needed, finally. And that exercise, it's actually the fourth exercise in the system, in the series of mat exercises, and it is the one-leg circle. I myself have a lot of weakness side to side. I have a strong side and a weak side, and a tightness in my back. And I'm really, in recent time, like over the last few months, realizing that the one-sided exercises are really exactly what I need. And I don't do them well. And Jay Grimes once told me that some of the one-sided exercises for me would really be a battle. And I sort of thought, oh, that was so dramatic. But yes, he's right, again. So I really am enjoying the challenge and really feeling the benefits of a lot of one-sided exercises. So let's look at the one-leg circle, because this is an early exercise we teach to so many people, and there's lots of things that can happen, tightnesses, imbalances, how to make it a stomach exercise. We could kind of talk about this for forever. So I'm going to use the strap and the handles, and I'm just going to share with you some strategies that have been helpful to me. So initially when you learn this exercise, you gently bring your knee into your chest and you reach up to the ceiling. And you have a great vantage point to watch your beautiful leg do a circle. And I find that to be supremely unhelpful, because the focus goes to the moving leg in the exercise. We get to watch it. That's kind of all we see. And it's really hard to make that exercise a stomach exercise, which it really is. Because if you think about it, the next exercise after the one-leg circle is rolling like a ball. And so you need to really make the back open against the mat so that you'll get a really nice further opening and massaging rolling exercise to follow. So let's talk about that. Joe Pilates gives you the surface of the mat behind you, and you really want to think, I'm going to call this exercise a lower body exercise, which clearly, that's pretty straightforward because you know that this part is the moving part. But I'm going to suggest that the lower body actually starts up here in the rib, upper stomach area, and the middle back, so that you're really looking at this whole part as a moving part, as a working part, from here down to each respective leg. And if you think about it, that's really the area of the body that eventually is going to support you and do the teaser, the open leg rocker, everything, the tree on the reformer. It's really priming that area one side at a time, which is a little bit of tough love. It's much easier to do it together, which you did in the roll up and the roll over. Okay, so for myself, I like to use my legs, and a lot of people get really tight in the quads, and when they make the circle, often there's some noise that happens in the hips. So I like to, if you can, take the bending leg part out of it, so that you're going to pretend that you're already doing the teaser, and you're going to lift that leg up without bending it, which already makes you use your stomach. And then use the focus, the mat behind you, to really see when you move your leg, does everything move around? Do you kind of tip around? If so, your leg is leading the exercise, and you really should take your cue from the center and what's happening there. So I would suggest that if you move your leg and a lot of stuff happens and a lot of movement happens in here, I would suggest make your circle really small. And see, can everything stay still when your circling is small? And maybe then push the range of motion and see, well, let me go a little bit bigger, and then see if you can keep everything together. So give that a try. I had my very first mat teacher, Lisa McLaughlin of Excel Pilates. I'll leave the link below. She used to say in the mat class, one of my very first mat classes, that your stomach is helping you lift your leg. She may have even said your stomach is lifting your leg. And I sort of thought, oh, that's such a nice image. We're talking about Pilates using our center. It's helping us lift our leg. No, she's right. That's really what's happening. It's not your leg. So that is my new favorite. And you know, with the one-sided exercises, it's kind of like a twofer. You get two exercises in one, because often one side can be markedly different from the other. So enjoy. And I'll include some blog posts on open leg rocker, also the one leg circle, in the info box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about either of these exercises or another mat exercise that might be your favorite that you'd like to see in a collab video tutorial, please leave me a comment below. Become a subscriber if you're not. You'll see a video like this each week. And click the bell icon as well so that you'll be notified every time we upload a post. Thank you so much for watching. I'm nearly at 2,000 subscribers and I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. See you on the mat. Bye. Pull your stomach up and lift that foot off the floor. And then you're gonna do the same thing here. Keep feeling like you're trying to gather inward so that you're pulling your legs together up into here versus pressing your leg at the other one. And then squeeze the circle, place it down, gracefully bend over to pick up the circle.